1412 Weather Alert.
And our Weather Alert Day coverage continues. Some schools are already calling it a day, and they're not going to be holding classes coming up tomorrow, so be sure to check those as the evening wears on. We're almost done with this latest winter storm when we approach midnight tonight. So we still have several more hours coming up where we'll have light snow. The heaviest that we're going to have over Wichita has already been overhead, and it should be winding down, at least easing up. The pace of the snow coming down should be scaling back a little bit later on in the evening. Again, as we look at south central Kansas, the metro area, we've had those darker shades of blue going right over the city. That will continue for probably another hour, maybe two. But as we take a look back into northwest Oklahoma, you can see how the radar returns become a little bit more fractured. There's some drier air that's being drawn up into south central Kansas. So what that means for you is a little less heavier snowfall over the area as we continue on through the remainder of the evening. We still feel like 4 inches of snow could be our grand total when this is all said and done. Some of you might find an inch or two more than that, but for the most part, this looks like 4 inches when we get things wrapped up later on tonight. The heavier snow extending across northwest Butler County. That's also right along the turnpike. We look into central Kansas here, the leading edge of the snow just creeping up on Rice County. And it's safe to say that before this is all over with, we could see up to maybe a half or 1 inch of snow in central Kansas. It shouldn't be much more than that. The snow in and around the Pratt area has also been accumulating. We just got an updated snowfall report coming in from northern Harper County. Let's take a look at that. Just north of 160, there's 4 inches as of the top of the hour. And then just in the southeast corner of Comanche County, another snowfall report showing about 3.5 there as of about 5:30 this evening. Those locations will likely start to see the snow shutting down here in the next couple of hours. Light snow continues in southwest Kansas, could easily wind up with 2 inches of snow off to the south of Dodge City. And then in western Kansas, we had a band of light snow moving through the Goodland-Colby area, but that has since come to an end. So our snowfall map hasn't really changed much. We're still thinking 2 to 4 on a large scale across south central and parts of southeast Kansas. Some of you already have 2 to 3 inches, could easily get another inch, maybe 2. 1 to 2 around the Dodge City area up into central Kansas north of I-70. Never really adds up to very much. These are the current wind gusts. And you got to take note of what's happening in Garden City and Goodland. We have winds gusting above 40. But as we continue on through the rest of the night, the wind starts to ramp up after the snow comes to an end. So 11 o'clock tonight, you see the stronger winds through central and western Kansas. It's safe to say that with the ramp up in the wind later on tonight, it could start to blow some of this freshly fallen snow around. But we're not going to have a blizzard overnight because, again, as the wind starts to take off, the snow is going to be winding down. So by the time we roll into Friday morning, yes, we will have a pretty stiff northwest breeze, but the snowfall is over with. It'll just be blowing around what's already on the ground. Future Track confirms that by daybreak tomorrow, the snow is over with. The clouds begin to break apart, and we should be trending back into more sunshine once we get into the afternoon. And I've got highs back up into the lower half of the 30s tomorrow, so some of the snow may start to melt once we get into your Friday. Visibility, not the best from the Epic Center tonight. We're right at 30 degrees, 100% humidity and calm winds. That will start to change and ramp up later on tonight. But again, the snow ends when the wind starts to go up. 16 in Hays, 23 for Hutch, 15 in Garden City. Western Kansas back in sunshine tomorrow and back above freezing. Goodland and Colby, how about 32 in Hays, 33 in Dodge City. Winds will be decreasing tomorrow in western Kansas. We've got a brisk northwest wind for Friday in central Kansas, 28 in Salina, 32 in Eureka. We'll start with some clouds in the morning, a brighter sky by afternoon. 32 for Wichita, 31 in Hutch, 32 El Dorado. Morning clouds, afternoon sunshine. A little bit breezy, but that wind will start to go down once we get later into the afternoon. 33 on Sunday, just 30 degrees on Monday. And even though next week starts off cold, we should be back up into the 40s by Thursday and Friday. So more of this snow melt will likely get underway next week. Your Eaton Roofing and